What we say reveals who we aspire to be. What we do reveals who we really are. So, what explains this contradiction? Why can we not simply be whom we want to be? Well, in order to understand that, we have to understand the three parts of us that combine to form our behaviors: our ego, our personality, and our soul. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about all three, but mainly the ego. The ego has one job to do, and that is to express itself. The ego is formed when the personality we are born with merges with our life experiences. And those two things together form some sort of idea about survival that is then packed away and stuck into our ego. We do not have to remember these life experiences. For example, a baby may be born and neglected for the first 6 months of its life. But as that child grows up and is now 6 or 7 years old, it might have attachment issues. And these things come out in its behavior because they've been formed in his or her ego, even though the child does not remember the neglect that it suffered as an infant. While this is an extreme and very sad example, it is also true. And it is true that we often have things stuck in our ego based on life experiences that we simply do not remember. Things we do remember also come into play. In my case, my father would bring up some political issue or another and have me take a side. And as I argued my point, he would counter with his own arguments until either I ran out of points or he ran out of counterpoints. And then he'd switch sides. And to this day, I don't know how he did it, but somehow, without saying a word, he got me to switch sides and would be arguing all over again. Now, I know he intended for me to learn how to think about both sides of an issue. However, that experience combined with my personality and formed a very argumentative ego pattern. Again, the ego has no choice. It has one job and it is only capable of doing one thing, and that is to express itself. Just like myself, we all have these ego patterns that are a result of our personalities combined with our life experiences. And we have so many of these patterns that the energy fills up that part of us that contains the ego to the point where our soul energy, which animates us, cannot get through. This is why we can aspire to be one thing as our soul wants us to be and not be able to behave in accordance with that desire. There is simply no room in the ego for soul energies until we make room. The soul, and for some people their personality, works towards resolving these ego patterns. If you are watching this, chances are you are one of those people. If not, you're aspiring to be. Most people that are working to develop a soul manifesting spiritual life work really hard on change. Don't. It's a waste of time. It is a trap. You are very unlikely to change. Let me say that again. You are very unlikely to change. What is more likely to happen is you will succeed in changing a behavior, but that ego energy is still going to be there and it will simply express itself in a new and unique way. And that is not helpful. The way is to de-energize your ego patterns. Once you do that, an ego vacuum is created. There's a hole that needs energy in your ego. And unless a major life event happens just at that moment, that void is going to be filled with your soul energy. And then the ego takes over and does the only thing it can do, which is express itself. Only this time, there's a little less ego energy and a little more soul energy. So, how do you deflate an ego pattern? Well, there's another video for that.